Ta-da! Jó? Benne leszel te is a podcastban? Let's go! Let's go! Hello! And welcome back to Good Wonderland. I am Érika, this is Miky, and this is my channel where I talk about all my crafty projects: knitting, crochet, sometimes sewing, cross stitch, embroidery, and maybe in the future English paper piecing, although that's currently on hold. Miky decided to join me today, so less space on the couch for my projects and more place for his fur. Yes, baby. Yes. Yes. Oh, okay. Found the spot. Okay, so I needed to move my projects to the floor, but it's okay. I'm still reaching them. I have my notes and I brought a lot of projects for you today. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining me for this episode. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. You can find me on social media, on Instagram and on Ravelry with the same name, With Wonderland, like here. And if you want to stay up to date on my projects, what I'm currently doing, or even my running or my dancing journey, you can follow me on Instagram because I'm quite active there. I will link all my project pages from Ravelry in the description below, and if I mention any other creators or any shops or anything, I will put it on the description below as well. So let's get started. I do not have any finished objects today. I did finish one thing, which was part of a costume. So I dance quite a lot, and a year ago we started, or like last December, we started to dance West Coast swing as well, apart from the many dances we already do. And we got tickets for a dance festival, which means 3 days of workshops and parties in West Coast swing. And that was in October. And the Friday party, the Friday day basically was a Halloween theme, and we needed costumes. And I used to dress up as a witch or Morticia Adams in the previous years, or Little Red Riding Hood. That's sort of our family costume. I am Little Red Riding Hood, Miky is the wolf, and my fiance is the huntsman. But it was not that comfortable for us to do that for this particular event. Plus Miky could not come, so it was out the window. And I didn't want to be Morticia or a witch because the dress I have for that is not that swing compatible. It's okay for bachata, but it's not that good for West Coast swing. So I needed a new idea, and I had some bits and pieces in my wardrobe which I could pull for make the costume. Yes, baby. Okay. And so I decided to become a spider lady, and a few years ago I had what are these? A few years ago I dressed up as a witch for a bachata party, and I had this black dress with some spider webs and such, but I cannot find my spider web, so I crocheted a spider web to pin on my clothes in an afternoon. So that's the only thing I finished. I do not have the spider web with me, I forgot to prep it, but I will put up a picture about my finished costume. And so I was the spider lady, and then my fiance was a bat guy. I just made some face paint for him, and yeah, that's what we did. We didn't go all in, but there were so amazing costumes in that party. I really felt underdressed. But it was very fun, and I felt very comfortable dancing in my costume, so that was mainly my point. I didn't want to wear something which would make it hard for me to dance or enjoy the event. So that's my only finished object. In October I did many starts and restarts, and I worked on old projects a lot. And as I am looking at my projects now, I think November will be about finishes. So the next episode, probably I will have a lot of finished objects. So stay tuned for that. Miky baby, I need my projects. No? Me? Okay. My only handmade thing, which I'm wearing today, is my handmade socks. And I'm not gonna show it because it would be weird. So let's move on to works in progress. I'm only showing you what I worked on in October. I'm not opening up the whip basket for all the ongoing projects because that would be crazy. I will try to keep this shorter than usual. So let's start with my October focus project, which is in this lovely project bag, and it is cross stitch. You might remember that I was focusing on a big cross stitch project for my granny because she turned 90 in October, and I really wanted to gift it to her, but as probably already think based on that I have it with me, I did not finish, and it made me very sad. And I went to Hungary, I went to the party, and I showed her where I am with this, and she was very happy. She didn't know I'm making this, and she was very happy that I'm making this for her, and she said not to worry about it. But I felt so bad not finishing it that since I came back I didn't even touch it. So I need to gather my strength again because I want to finish it by Christmas. So this is the Deer in the Woods. Since the last episode you saw it, it's a lot of progress, but it still wasn't enough. But the head is already showing, and the legs and the background. So this is the Deer in the Woods. It's from the World of Cross Stitching magazine, an older edition. I will try to put the exact edition in the description when I talk about it. There's no link for this because there's nothing I can track my cross stitch projects in, so I track them in Notion. I started this on August 23rd, and I'm using 14 count white Ada and all the code for DMC colors. The only thing is I messed up and I did not notice that this part should have been stitched in one strand instead of two, the background. So everything is stitched in two strands. And yeah, probably we'll need to buy some extra floss, but let's try to show it closer. But other than that, it was okay, and it was so much work, and I got very frustrated that I do not go as I wanted to. It took me much longer than I expected, and also I messed up a few times. Some of them I corrected, some of them I'm just making it work. So yeah, I really want to finish it this year. That's the next goal, to finish it this year. But currently I'm still mad at the project, so I haven't touched it since I got back from Hungary. But my granny was very happy that I'm making this for her, and yeah, she will be happy when she gets this. Let's do embroidery. So I started a new embroidery project because when I went to Hungary, I did not know if I want to take knitting on the plane or embroidery, and I thought that I will just start an embroidery project. I didn't want to take my ongoing one, and I had a kit which I haven't opened yet. It's from Whimper's Embroidery again. My embroidery kits are all from her. She's in the UK, and she had this wonderful collaboration kit for her subscription box. I do not have the ongoing subscription. I bought it as a one-off, and it was the June kit this year, which absolutely stole my heart. It was a collab with Sister Paper Co., which is also a UK small business, and they make prints and cards and stuff like that. I will show you the picture of the pattern, and it's a greenhouse, and I absolutely adore greenhouses. And one day when I'm older and I have a house or something, I want a greenhouse. And so it absolutely stole my heart. Let me move my needle minder out of the way. And I took it out and I started to stitch this, and it's just so lovely. I absolutely love this. I enjoy learning new stitches. The the top of the hat was a new stitch for me, and now I'm on the outline of the greenhouse, and it's just so easy to pick up and put a few stitches in. So I have on her project bag, that's what I put it. So I started this before my flight to Hungary, and I took it with me. And, or did I start it after? No, I think I started it before. Yeah, I started it before. I started it on October 15th. Yes. And it's the June kit from this year. It was a one-time thing, so you cannot buy it anymore. Maybe on some events, if she's going to events like the knitting and stitching show in London. I think she brought some, but this is not something which is always on her shop. But you should check her out because she has amazing, beautiful embroidery kits. So that's my embroidery. It felt so good to go back to embroidery and not be frustrated. Just have something without a deadline, have something without pressure of it being a gift and having to be perfect. Yes, it felt good, and since then I'm picking it up here and there. I just do one thread, one length, I stitch it and then I put it back down, and it's basically a comfort project right now. Yes, baby, do you have something to say about embroidery? No? Yes, maybe? Okay. Okay, let's move on. So October was Socktober, which means everyone was sock knitting, and I wanted to somewhat take part in this, and I started a new sock on October 1st. Yes, I started them October 1st, and I finished the first sock, and I started the second, but I'm nowhere with the second sock. This is based on a pattern, Vanilla Socks by the Crazy Sock Lady. I always use her pattern, and I enjoy knitting my socks on 9-inch circulars. And the white is Filcola Filcola Arvetta, which is a sock yarn, and the green one is Regia 4-ply, which is a German sock yarn. And it started because I had exactly one 50-gram ball of the Regia, and I wanted to use it up. I knew I wouldn't put it into anything else. It's a sock yarn, so why not socks? And I had some leftovers of the Arvetta, so I thought to combine them and make sort of a striped sock. And if I'm running out of the green, I can just do the second toe in white as well. But I think it will be enough. It looks like it will be enough. Very simple. I think it's 15 rounds of knit 2 purl 2 for the cuff, and then 30 rounds for the leg. It's 10 10 10, and then the heel flap, it's a slip stitch heel flap, heel turn and gusset. And what I do is, not this time, but usually I do extra 2 rounds of the heel, so the heel flap is longer, so the gusset is larger, because my foot is quite high, or like my gusset is quite raised, or I don't know how to say that properly in English. And then I already learned I need 30 rounds for the foot and then the toe. So first sock is done, and the second is started. I am not rushing with it at all. It will be done when it will be done. And I wanted to show you something my mom of course I'm not. My mom got me a sock ruler to make it easier for me to make socks, which comes in very handy. And actually I will use it soon, because a friend of mine saw my socks. Actually it was on a dance festival that one of my dance classmates, she saw my socks, and she's like, oh my god, I love handmade socks. This is my dream, to have a pair of real wool socks, and would you be up for knitting me one? And I would buy it. And she basically commissioned me to make her a pair of socks. And we agreed on the colors. So after this sock I will probably knit her a pair of socks. I think I can be done by Christmas, and she can have it for the winter month. Yeah, So that's about Socktober. That's about sock knitting. I'm enjoying sock knitting. It's basically my chill TV project when we are watching something and I don't want to think. Another of my chill projects, which I am absolutely in love with, and I could barely put it down lately, and this is really not what my focus should be on, but life happens, and that's what my focus was, is my modified ginkgo biloba top, which I am knitting as a dress. So last year I test knitted the ginkgo biloba top from Greener Makes, Marie, and since then I test knitted for her another time, and I really love her patterns, and I also knitted other patterns from her, not just the test knits, and I loved the ginkgo biloba top so much that I already knitted twice with 2 different yarns. And now when I found like several balls of this copper colored knitting for olive pure silk, I had 7 balls of it, or 9 or something like that. I was like, I don't want to make a shirt out of it because I bought it for a shirt originally. I'm like, this would be perfect for a summer dress. And after knitting the lakeside dress from Leah, I was very into desk knitting, and I'm like, okay, let's give it a try. So I decided to turn the ginkgo biloba top into a dress pattern, and it's a bottom up pattern, and then you basically knit, and then there's instruction in a pattern for shorter version and longer version as a top, and waist shaping and things like that, and how to modify it to fit your body. And I was like, okay, I have everything I need to make it a perfectly good dress. So I started a dress, and you saw this before, but since you saw it, I progressed so much. I will try to show it properly. Where is the middle? Where's the, yeah. Just want to show you the pattern because it's so beautiful. So basically it's a bottom-up construction, and I progressed so much. I am in the middle of waist shaping. I wanted it somewhere around my knees, to end it somewhere around my knees, but I think it will be under the knee, which is okay. I don't like my knees particularly, so I don't mind it being covered. And the pattern, the ginkgo leaf pattern, it's an 8-row repeat, and it's so easy to memorize, and I absolutely love this. My needle protectors are from Stitch and Light, who is a Hungarian knitting accessory maker. And so since you last saw it, I just progressed so much because this is what I tend to pick up. It is stockinette with a little twist, and it's just perfect amount of engagement, which I need when I'm knitting, but also it works up so quickly, so well. I think yesterday only I did like 8 repeats or something like that. It's crazy. It's going so fast. So I'm in the middle of the waist shaping, and so I need to do the increases after it for the bust, and then it's just the like the strap part and like the separating of the front and the back, and then doing the triangular parts and the straps. And my torso is quite short, so what I thought originally, there is a straight section between the decreases and the increases, but I think I will do a shorter straight section than what the pattern recommends because of my portions or measurements. It matches Miky's fur. Maybe he will wear it. No. So yeah, and I know that I need a shorter strap because I already knitted this pattern twice, so I know how long I need to do things. I have my notes, it's perfect. But I will try this on before, I stopped it after I finished the decreases because I want to try it on to see if really I need to shorten the torso and the waist shaping. So it's a long thing, and I'm on my 4th, is it the 4th ball of yarn? I think I'm on my 4th ball of yarn. Let me check. Yes, I'm on my 4th ball of yarn, and I'm almost at the end. And I know for the top I needed only 2 balls of this knitting for a leaf pure silk, and now I'm the fourth, and I think there will be one more. I think I will crack into the fifth, and whatever is left I will just put it with my with the rest of my remainders of pure silk, because I have it a few colors already, because I love to knit with it, and I kept all the leftovers, and I want to do like a striped tee or something like it from all the colors I have left over from other projects. I'm very happy with this. I highly recommend Mary's patterns because it's detailed, it's well explained, the construction is just so good. They always fit so well, and also she always links some videos there so you can learn the new techniques if you don't know them yet. This was the pattern where I learned provisional cast on, and I love that cast on since then. Of course it's not always needed, so I don't use it excessively, but yeah. Yes, I started this June 28th, but I knew I won't be done with it in the summer, and I actually think this would be a perfect thing to wear over like a long sleeve turtleneck shirt, like a white top, like a long sleeve turtleneck thing. I think it would look amazing like that. Yeah, or with the wool cardigan I want to wear like with a belt. I think it will be very fun. So I started it in June 28th. I'm using Knitting for Olive pure silk in a colorway copper. It's a bit more pastel, or a bit more like not faded, but like it's not that bright how I expected it based on the picture, but it's okay. I still like it. I'm using 3mm needles, and I'm knitting size D, which is the 4th size, and I'm making this as part of the autumn dress knit along, which runs on Instagram. There's a group chat. The other participants are absolutely lovely. It's so nice to be part of this. I really enjoy it, and I think that's what keeps me going, apart from the pattern being so cozy to make. I think the knit along is another push for me, which helps. Okay. Let's move on to my other failed projects. Lately I had not so much of a success with my projects, so my making mojo was not quite right, but this this dress experiment is helping me get it back. Oh my god, what have I done? It's a mess. I want to show you, but it's a mess. Okay, so I talked about the dance festival, and I wanted to make something handmade to wear at the dance festival. I knew we will have several workshops, and I know that in these things, when you start a day at the first workshop, you're tired and it's still cold, and we are in autumn and we are in Belgium, so obviously I expected to be cold, and it was so windy and cold on that weekend that my expectation was correct. So I wanted to have like a layering piece which I could wear over a top at the start of the workshop, and as I warm up I could take it off. So I had a lot of leftover Filcola Natilia, and I bought another ball of yarn to have enough for this project, and I cast on the what is it called? I cast on the Ghost Whisperer top from Park and Knits, and it's on 7mm needles, so it should go very fast, but it's not. It's so hard for me to manage, and I don't know how to show it to you because it's so airy. So it's basically lace or like mohair on super big needles, and I took this as a project with me when I went to Hungary. Maybe you will see the color better like this. And I did some progress, but it was very clear that I will not be done for the festival, so also gave me that feeling, and I sort of put it down after the festival. I was still hopeful during the festival. I worked on it, maybe to wear it on the last day. did not happen. So I just put it down after and haven't touched it since. But it's a very lovely project and I'm looking forward to wear it anyway. So I think I will be done with this also for Christmas, and I can wear it as a sort of part of my Christmas outfit. We will see. We will see. This pink is absolutely my color, so I know I will love to wear it once it's done. It's just very hard for me to knit with the big needles. I'm so used to knitting in 3-4 millimeter needles, and that's what I'm comfortable with. And this is on 7, and it actually hurts my hand, and things are slipping off all the time. The yarn is so thin compared to the needles that I'm really struggling. We are knitting this together with a couple of friends on Instagram. It turned into a super chill mini knit along. We basically have a group chat and that's it. And one of us already finished. Érika already finished, and I will link her YouTube down below because she also has a YouTube channel and she's so lovely, and she has a bunch of vintage knitting magazines from Brazil. She lives in Brazil, and if you are here for a while, you know my fiance is Brazilian, and so I'm just very interested in everything like Brazilian culture and Brazilian everything, basically, to get to know the background more. And she has these flip through videos on her YouTube channel where she shows us the vintage Brazilian knitting and crochet magazines, and I just love to see those. I generally love vintage. My wedding dress will be vintage, so yeah, it's just, I highly recommend watching her. I will link her down below. And so she already finished hers, and there are 2 more friends or 3 more friends, I'm not even sure, who are doing theirs, and I am in the middle of mine as well. Whoa, my notes. When did I start this thing? I started late. I know I started late. Yes, I started it on September 13th. Not that late. I should have been done. And I'm knitting size medium on 7mm needle. Filcolana Tilia 360 is the color number, and I think it's called hibiscus or magenta. One of those. Yes, speaking of vintage and wedding, I finally restarted my wedding cardigan. In a previous episode I was showing you, or the before previous, I don't know, I was showing you the start of it when I was holding my yarn together with the sparkly silver colored yarn, and I ended up frogging that, and I restarted recently, and now I needed to gather my strength and get my mojo back to be able to focus on this. And the process of us getting married is getting so long and tedious that it's just really discouraging for me to actually focus on making things for that. Please keep us in your prayers and send us some good vibes, because in November we have finally an appointment with the local government to present our papers and to ask for a date, and if it all depends if they accept our papers or not, and if they do, then hopefully we can still get married this year. So many things are dragging that it's just really discouraging. I don't know a better word for this. It's just taking the motivation out of me to progress with things. But I gathered my strength back, and I restarted my cardigan, and I actually like how it's progressing. I have some doubts if it will look good on me or not, because white is not my color, but I really wanted to wear white on my wedding. My wedding dress is from Prague, from a vintage shop, and my friend is sending it to me in a package soon. It's still in Prague, and because I bought it when we were there and it didn't fit in my luggage, so I left it with a friend and she's sending it to me. And when it arrives, I will need to alter the back to fit better, and I also will need to clean it, obviously. And I am trying to do a head start with the accessories and other stuff regarding the wedding. I wanted to have a veil, and I did not order it, yet. I found one on Etsy. I will check if I still want it when the dress is here and I have it on again. And I'm trying to make this cardigan, and I want to make a bow tie for Miky. And if I have time, totally not mandatory, I'm okay if it doesn't happen. I thought I will crochet myself a bouquet of flowers. We will see if that fits in. Also, I made myself a wedding pouch, but it's still in a whip pile because the crochet part is done, but I did not do the lining yet. I will do it probably this week or the next because I'm just bothered that it's languishing. A lot of info, a lot of story, but back to the cardigan. So this is something which is actually going well and actually happening after I restarted. This is the Caspar cardigan from Colibri by Johanna Gerisch, I think. I'm not sure what's her full name. She's a German designer. I really like her designs, they are fun. And she has a whole like wedding booklet or something where she collected patterns which are good for the wedding. I do not have the booklet, I bought the pattern as a one-off. I don't know how to show this. So I'm done with the shoulders. I'm on a last repetition, raglan repetition, before splitting for sleeves. And I'm actually thinking, I'm knitting size, oh my god, please don't fall off. I am knitting size medium, but I'm thinking to lengthen this part and do one more pattern repetition to make the armholes or like the shoulder part bigger, because I'm afraid, since it's acrylic yarn, it's a vintage yarn from Hungary from my granny, and I want it to be an heirloom piece, so that's why it's like this. I don't know how to show this. So this is the shoulder, and there will be a button band, so don't worry about the finishing. And I am afraid, since it's like acrylic and vintage, it won't stretch much, and I feel like I'm doing the mohair version. There is an appendix with the mohair version, and I'm afraid of not stretching, so I'm thinking of actually doing it one repetition longer, like this much longer, to have enough space for the armhole. And then when I pick up the stitches for the underarm, I think I will pick up more stitches to have enough space for me to raise my arm. I'm quite wide shouldered, but in general I'm not that big like size wise, but the shoulders are wide, so I think I should accommodate it there, and then maybe I can do some waist shaping after the bust to make it fit better. I don't know, it will have a peplum and I think it will look very nice with my dress, but we will see. And so that's where I am. It went very fast after I restarted it. I started it in October 29. Really? Okay, I started it October 29 and today is the 3rd of November. Yes. Wow. I did a lot. Good for me. Proud of myself. So, yeah, so I'm doing the mohair version and I'm worried about this arm thing, but I need to put it on stitch cores and try it on properly to see the fit with a blouse or something, to know how it will fit over like a tighter clothes, because I'm wearing baggy shirt. I do size 3, yeah, which is the medium, and I do the 4.5mm needles because that gave me the gauge which was on spot, and I also liked how the texture, how the fabric is. So this is how it looks. It's not mohair, it's an acrylic yarn which is quite fluffy, and it's a very, very old Hungarian yarn called Amor from the Floki company, which doesn't exist anymore, or the Floki factory, which doesn't exist anymore. And I got a lot of them from my granny. I think I have like 9 or 10 or 11 balls, something like that. I know I won't need more than 3, which I have in this bag. And yeah, I just wanted something which I can wear which is connected to my heritage, which is connected to my family, since my family won't be able to be at the wedding. And I was thinking, and I'm actually curious, what would you think, if I have a lot of yarn left, and probably I will, I was thinking to knit a matching skirt for the cardigan, so you know, when we go to Hungary and celebrate with my family, maybe I won't wear my wedding dress, but I would wear this as a costume and still have something, you know, weddingy. And if you have any good skirt patterns, I like more of like A-line frilly things, but maybe with the peplum cardigan, I think maybe like a what is it called in English, this skirt pattern, which, you know, which follows your lines, pencil skirt. Maybe a pencil skirt would be better. So if you have any pattern recommendation for a skirt from acrylic yarn, then I would be very happy to check them out, because I think it would be a nice project after the cardigan, still being connected to my heritage. Yes, this whole wedding thing is a big project, and it's a big process, and it's a very long process, much longer than we expected. So it teaches me another level of patience and another level of resilience. But we have our rings now, and we have supposedly all our papers which we need. We got the tie for my fiance. Actually, my granny bought him a tie for the wedding. It was very sweet. And we know where we want to eat afterwards, and we are very hoping that we can have our witnesses here. And yeah, that's basically the plan. So think about us in November, and I will for sure keep you updated about this. Okay, enough of the wedding things. Last project which I brought today is a shawl, which is the Medusa shawl from Artemis Yarns, and this was a secret test knit, which I failed. I never finished, and I took it out recently because I really want to have the shawl finished. I needed to get over my bad feelings regarding my failure, and I just want to have it done and either keep it or give it to my mom. So it's a very lovely pattern. It has this cable detail on one end, and then there are these marled effect. So this was made to fit her Advent yarn package, which was a fade, the Medusa Advent last year, 2024. And I didn't have a fade set, but I had a lot of like this sock yarn, and its fingering held double, and that's how you achieve the mold effect, and that's how the fade actually works, because you can just go from one color to another. And it has two versions. There's a 5-color fade for the 5 skein Advent, and there's a 24-color fade for a full mini Advent. And I was testing the 5-color fade, and what I wanted to do is to go from green to red to back to green, and that's what I will do. And I'm over the middle. I am actually not that far from getting to the decreases, and I really enjoy it. It's very squishy. Again, my markers are from Stitch and Light from Hungary, and it's very nice. The yarn is Lamy yarn. Lamy yarn? I think so. Yeah, Lamy yarns running 4-ply. The same like what I'm using in another project. Don't remember which project. And it's just sock yarn I bought in my local yarn shop. I started this originally in September 29, 2024, and this is on 4mm needles, so it's not bad. DK on 4mm is quite squishy and it's enjoyable to do. And I actually learned it's a 2-row repeat on the straight section, and I enjoy doing that. I finally remember the pattern, so I don't have to check the pattern all the time, so it's good for TV knitting as well. And I'm hoping I can finish this and gift this for this Christmas. Yeah, I have a lot of things I want to finish this year, but as I said, October wasn't about finishes, but I think November will be all about finishes. I just want to focus on things to get them out of my bags and get them finished, because I have so many projects in mind which I want to start, and I do not want to start them until I clear some needles. Because I do not have clear needles right now. No, I have two, but yeah, I don't have enough cables to start my new projects, and B, I do not want to have too many projects which are very, you know, involved brain-wise. I have some color work plans which I want to do, but I do not want to start color work before I finish some of these things, because color work is like very much like a monogamous project for me. I really need to sit and focus on it, and I cannot like jump around with it. I cannot just put it down, pick it up any time of the day. And I can do that with all the projects which I have right now, because they are either stockinette or very simple repetitions, very simple patterns. So I have color work project in mind. I also have a shawl project in mind. I want to make a backpack, which is crochet. And I actually wanted to show this to you. Sorry, Miky. Yeah, it's a bag. It doesn't contain snacks. Sorry. So I have these yarns, and if you watched previous episodes, you might remember these colors because I crocheted like a side bag, a small side bag, and this is the same yarn. It's just these I picked up and brought them from Hungary when I went now. They were at my granny's place because she frogged me a huge failed crochet sweater. So I crocheted a sweater from one of the Simply Crochet magazines, and the pattern is great, and I think I will crochet it again, but with a different yarn, because this yarn was really a bad choice. This is cotton yarn. I don't know what was I thinking crocheting a sweater from cotton, but the sizing was totally off, even though the yarn size should have been great with that needle, that hook. The sizing was off. There were some mistakes in the pattern, and I had some issues with the shaping and the joining, but the pattern overall is very nice and I want to make it. So it was such a bad feeling. I finished the sweater because I wanted to finish the project. You can check it on my Ravelry, I will link it down below. And then I was like, I put it on and I'm like, nope, never gonna wear it. Look awful on me, nope. And then I was like, okay, Mom, do you want it? Granny, do you want it? And they're like, I don't really wear these colors, like strong pink, no, none of their colors. And Granny was very sweet, and she's like, I can just frog it for you and I can roll it up. So she did. She frogged the sweater and balled it all up, and I'm very thankful for that. Like a huge ball of yellow yarn, but these colors are so good. So I thought, since it's cotton and it has a good strength, but it's not that heavy actually. I think it's Alice Day yarn. I need to find the info. It will be on my project page. So since these have a good hold, I already put my crochet hooks with this, and I started to experiment with some swatches, but I did not figure it out. I want to make a backpack with a crochet base and then just a bucket style of backpack. I checked out some patterns on Ravelry, but none of them is really what I wanted, so I will just freehand it. And then just a flip at the top and then lining, and that's it. Basically similar way how I did my little bag. It's not a priority project, but the colors make me happy, so I definitely want to start this. So these are, and since it will be free-handed, it will take up some brain space, so I will need to have less projects to juggle when I'm working on this. I know I can very much get involved with crochet. When I have this crochet fever, I just focus on that and nothing else, and I don't care about anything else. So I do not want to get in the spot when I have other things to finish, and obviously the wedding cardigan is priority right now. So this needs to wait, but it's already prepped. The hooks are already with this, and yeah, it just needs me to focus. Yeah. Another thing I brought from Hungary and I wanted to show you is these yarns. I have 4 balls of this. This is German Häkelgarn, and it's cotton. I think it's 100% cotton. Yes, it's 100% cotton, and it's 550 meters per like roll or ball. How do you call this? And I think it says on the label that for a 38 size female pullover or like sweater, 300 grams should be enough, and one of these is 100 grams. I highly doubt that's enough. That's for one. 2, I do not want a sweater. So on Instagram, I was asking a friend who is very much into crochet. She also has a channel on YouTube, but it's in Hungarian. I will link her. I will link her down below, but it's in Hungarian, so if you don't speak Hungarian, sorry. And she does beautiful crochet things. And originally, I wanted to make a skirt with this, like a frilly skirt with some pattern, and I was talking to her, and I think it would not be enough to do that. So I was asking her if she has any ideas, and she said, what if I would do a hexagon cardigan but with a bigger gauge, sort of like a lacy structure, and I'm more and more intrigued with that. So you see, this is my color, totally my color. So this morning when I woke up, I was like, again, thinking about it. I'm like, okay, why not? It could be nice, you know, in the colder months when I'm wearing a lot of long sleeves, to just throw it on as an extra layer for my back. I would not do a long sleeve, I would do just the short one. So with the long sleeve shirts, like turtlenecks and stuff, it could be just a nice extra layer, just some decorative stuff if I go to the theater or some concert or something. Or even if I go to dance workshops, you know. Yeah. But if you have any other ideas what to do with 400 grams of super thin, it says 2.5 millimeter needle as a recommended, and 1.5 millimeter hook as a recommended. So if you have any ideas what to do with 400 grams and 550 meter per 100 gram balls, then let me know. I think it would look very elegant with the lace motif. So that's what I'm hoping for. Other news is that I ran my second half marathon, and if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I got injured. Not so much injured there, but my injury basically appeared during the race, which was already an issue before. And since then I cannot run, and I'm doing physiotherapy. And after the race, it took me around 2 weeks of serious rest, and no dancing and no running and no workouts to get back on my feet. Now I started physiotherapy, now I'm dancing again. It's cleared, I can dance, but running is still not recommended. But that meant a lot of stitchy time and a lot of watching YouTube and a lot of planning future projects. So that's why I could get so much done on all of these things, because I had to just put my feet up and do nothing. Like I barely walked for a while. It was a lot. Since then I learned that my other knee has the same issue, and probably there's some stuff with my hip as well. So we are working on that, and hopefully I will be back on track and ready for my Berlin half marathon next spring. Both my coach and my physiotherapist know about it, and they know that that's my focus, to run that half marathon. I do not have super high expectations. I have a time goal in my head, which I think is totally doable. My coach said it's doable. My physiotherapist said that it can be doable. So yeah, we will see. But yeah, that means a lot of resting, a lot of stitching. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me again, listening to my rambling, watching Miky finding the most comfortable position. Baby, do you want to say bye? No? Okay. Then I say thank you so much and see you soon. Bye bye.